Hello, everyone. I'm Kimberly Guilfoyle in for Greta Van Susteren. Donald Trump holding some major meetings today, one on Capitol Hill to rally support and another at the New York Four Seasons to kick his fundraising into high gear. And on the Democratic side, Senator Bernie Sanders meeting with President Obama this morning at the White House. But shortly after that meeting, the president officially endorsing Secretary Hillary Clinton. And as all these private meetings were going on, the candidates took to Twitter to publicly go at each other's throats. After the president's endorsement, Donald Trump tweeted this: Obama just endorsed crooked Hillary. He wants 4 more years of Obama, but nobody else does. And just 5 minutes later, Secretary Clinton's account tweeting this in response to Trump: delete your account. And then RNC Chair Reince Priebus even joined in on the Twitter fight and fun, tweeting this to Secretary Clinton: if anyone knows how to use a delete key, it's you. Okay. And hours later, Trump striking again, hitting at Secretary Clinton's response, saying, how long did it take your staff of 823 people to think that up? And where are your 33,000 emails that you deleted? But right now, Senator Bernie Sanders is refusing to back down. The senator is ready to rally in Washington, D.C. Huge crowds there already. And we're going to take you back live to Washington, D.C. when Bernie Sanders starts speaking. And joining us now, former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich goes on the record. What a pleasure to have you tonight, Speaker. And my word, indeed, there was a lot to discuss for today. So let's get your take on the Twitter tete-a-tete.
I thought it was pretty good, and I think it shows you a little bit of the speed both of Trump and his allies. It was great that Reince Priebus jumped in. Hillary was clever, but I think she lost that round. I think her using the word delete takes you to so many things she's done wrong that it's almost embarrassing. Yeah,
that was really, it seemed to be another like tone-deaf moment. When you are under investigation by the FBI and been found to be in wrongdoing by your own State Department with an IG review, why would you even act in an arrogant way, mocking, talking about deleting? I mean, it seems like you're just not getting it, especially when Americans have put their lives on the line and national security has been compromised by her conduct.
You know, I think that's one of the things that will be fascinating about this campaign. I don't think Hillary gets it. I think that her advisors don't get it. There's a brilliant book by Charles Murray called Coming Apart that talks about the gap between the elites and the rest of us. And you just had a Fox poll, 64% of independents think Hillary's lying. Now, the fact that she's not even aware of this, she just thinks she can bluff her way through it. But I agree with you, the notion of her using the word delete is about as tone deaf as you could be.
Yeah, I think it was a bad move. So Senator would like to retrieve that email and that tweet. So let me ask you this. Let's talk about the endorsement. So obviously everyone was waiting. When is President Obama, you know, very popular president with the liberals, going to weigh in on this? Because nobody thought it was going to go this far, this long in the game with Bernie and Hillary. Today he made his position clear, and also we know that he did vote for her, he said, before in Chicago.
Well, look, I think Obama played this very well. He didn't get in the middle of it. He didn't give Sanders any reason to be mad at him. He let it go all the way through California. But I also think as the leader of the party, he's pretty desperate to stop Trump and to preserve his legacy, and he knows that a Trump victory will unwind most of his legacy within a year. So I think he has a huge investment in Hillary, and I think that he's now going to start playing that out. He's going to try to talk Sanders out of the race. There'll be huge pressure on Sanders to drop out after the D.C. primary. But I think that to give him credit, President Obama, I thought, did it very ably in a very clever way and probably had as much impact as he could. Remember, a large part of this country wants to change Washington, not get 4 more years of Obama. And Hillary's got to sort of do a dance here where she's grateful for his support, but she sure doesn't want to become the Obama candidate, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. And talk to me a little bit about, Bernie Sanders, again, refusing to stand down or back down. He wants to stay in this. That whole socialist movement, I think, could be very helpful in a way to the Trump supporters and to the Republican Party to say, listen, is this who you want, somebody who's pushing forward this type of agenda? Because it's pushed Hillary to the left.
Well, put yourself in Bernie's shoes for a second. You just had the White House press secretary today, in what I think was probably a boo-boo, say that the FBI investigation of Secretary Clinton is a criminal investigation. Now, that's the White House press secretary. He did that shortly after Obama endorsed her. So if you're Bernie Sanders, you're thinking, why should I drop out before the FBI drops out? I mean, if they're still in the game, he's still in the game. And I don't blame him at all. I think that if Hillary were to be indicted, Sanders would become the nominee because nobody else could compete with him. But if he drops out, then it's a different game.
And real quick, I did want to get to this as well, Mr. Speaker, about your meetings at Capitol Hill with members of Congress. If you can give us a little tidbit or tell us everything.
Well, I was there actually to talk about space policy with Chairman Babin of the subcommittee and Chairman Smith of the Science Committee. And then they said, why don't I drop by the Trump meeting? And I was delighted to do it. It was very, very well done. I was very impressed. There were a lot of members there. There was a lot of enthusiasm. It was a very candid back and forth, a lot of practical things. When are you coming to my district? You know, what can we do to help you at the convention? I thought, having been through a lot of presidential campaigns, I thought the Trump operation looked very impressive this morning and did a very, very good job. And I think there's a lot of sense of they're excited about the chance to beat Hillary, and they think they're going to.
Okay, so it sounds like you saw some unification there. I can tell by your biorhythms, Mr. Speaker, that it was the most auspicious meeting.
Yes, you got it exactly.
Fantastic.
You're very astute.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thanks.
We look forward to seeing you again.